Hey guys, super excited to be back for a couple different reasons here. First of all, I'm really liking making these every single day, and I took a break for the last couple days because I have some health issues that I've been dealing with, and I actually went to the hospital for a couple days that just activated fear in so many people who didn't know about that. It's all good, everything's okay, I'm getting awesome treatment, so all good there. And second of all, why I'm really excited to be here today is I'm just out of meditation. And I didn't know if I was going to continue or not. I've been meditating for an hour a day, every single day. And it's like super transforming stuff. So uh, everything's just really flowing when I come right out of that and go straight to the video. And what we're going to talk about today is how there's two kinds of discomfort. And there is discomfort that serves you, and there is discomfort that doesn't. And you always get a choice between which kind you can choose, or which kind you want to choose. And actually, I have a perfect example that came up during my meditation. So I'm sitting there, and my mind's buzzing with all the little things at first, and I start thinking about this video and making it. And I realized that I have a little bit of fear that my housemate is going to walk in the middle of the video. And that's sort of interesting. He's very just masculine, like proof is in the pudding kind of. He lives in this place that I believe we use as an excuse to not access our full potential sometimes, called reality. Tangent real quick here. Actually, the reason I say that we use that sometimes as an excuse to not access our full potential is because our full potential isn't in the manifest reality yet, because we haven't done it. So it's easy, for the world to say, oh, you're not living in reality if you're dreaming. If you have a vision that they can't feel yet. Well, yeah, it's not in the tangible reality yet. It hasn't been created, but it can be. Anyways, tangent there. Done. I noticed this little fear about him walking in when I'm making the video, because there's still a little piece of me that has some insecurity and stuff. He's always telling me, I'm not in the reality. I'm trying to be a guru, all this different stuff, and it's becoming less of an insecurity and more of a comic show between us. I actually love it because we're like so the same and so different in so many ways. It's really cool. But so I'm listening to all these voices talk about how this is going to go, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to try to get rid of the fear. I'm just going to sit with it. I'm just going to be here. And then I realized, okay, I start here. I'm choosing the discomfort that serves me, right? It's uncomfortable to feel this fear coming up and think of that happening and have all this chatter in the meditation, but I'm choosing to just be with it. And when you choose the discomfort that serves you, what happens is you're proving to your mind, you're proving to your body, you're proving to your nervous system that everything is okay, because you're moving from love instead of fear by just being in acceptance and being with it. And so once you actually start doing that and you start proving to the mind, body, nervous system, all that it's going to be okay, the belief that it's not starts to die, and that will dissolve on its own. Not if you're doing it to get it to leave, but if you're actually just being in the acceptance and being with it, everything that is in resistance starts to naturally just go away. But so as I did that, then I realized, the voices keep talking and this is unfolding, and I'm like, whoa, it would be really cool if he actually did walk in the video, because I'm a little afraid of that. I'm like, that'd be awesome. Then I could just see how that unfolds. And then I started to get excited about it. And there was actually this little piece of me like hoping that that would happen. And so I just keep sitting with it and letting it unfold. And then interestingly enough, my meditation comes to an end, and I'm setting things up and I have a few minutes, and he ends up coming to the house and we run into each other. And have a conversation, he tells me, oh, I have some stuff to do, so I'm not going to be here. And then I was like, then a little piece of me was almost like, dang it, now that's not going to happen. But that's totally cool. But that's what I mean. So sitting with that discomfort that actually served caused the fear to dissolve, and then the physical reality actually matched. It's just so cool. It's amazing. People, I feel like we think that it's this, like, magical, spiritual, like, transcendental thing, like your inner world matches your outer world, and it's not. It's just not that complicated, is really what I would like to get across. Is that, like, yes, there are some aspects that feel really magical, and it's not that magical. It's actually normal. We're just not used to engaging that. But so choosing the discomfort that serves over the discomfort that doesn't moves you beyond what the small voices think you can be. And thank you, Barb Calkins, by the way, for that. The discomfort that serves or the discomfort that doesn't. She's the one that taught me that. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about here. Forgot them. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is I have like bits of wisdom coming in from all kinds of people today. From friend, mentor, just awesome person that I love with all my heart. If you're watching, Amira Solomon was helping me through a really difficult challenge I was having at one point. And she told me this that really helped. If you're feeling it, then that means it's inside of you. And if it's inside of you, then it's not bigger than you. And what I'm realizing is that all we're ever actually afraid of is just a feeling. We're afraid of feeling sad. We're afraid of feeling guilty. We're afraid of feeling happy even sometimes. And all of these, we try to say that it's the external things, and it can be like, oh, I don't want to disappoint my friend in this, but we're actually not afraid of the physical manifestation of disappointing the friend, like the actual act. We're afraid of all the feelings that are going to come up. What are they going to think of us? What's going to happen in our relationship? Then I might feel guilty about it. And that's actually what we're running from. And what I'm just finding out of this meditation practice is if you just keep showing up and really being in acceptance of those things, they truly will dissolve. I promise you. But the thing that happens is we are so trained, I am so trained, to get out of our discomfort and to want to be out of that it's like we'll come right up to the edge before they finally release, and then we just give up. And meditation is actually the perfect example, because and I'm not saying this is the only way, I'm just saying this is the way that's working for me, and it's an awesome, easy metaphor to use here. But like, if I told you guys to go meditate for an hour, I will bet you that so many of you, before you're even doing it, anything like that, just hearing me say that is already like, I can't because of blah, 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 and what if, and all these things start happening. But what if you were to actually just do it? What if you just sat? What if you let all those things come up and you still did it? You would then prove to yourself that you could do it. And that's okay. Let them talk. That's fine. The goal is not to get rid of those voices. It's to be the space that they're coming up in. But we think that this chaos and all the things coming up in our mind are bad or unhelpful. So as soon as those start to raise up, we actually side with them. That is choosing the discomfort that doesn't serve you. And I'm going to stick with the meditation metaphor because I go through it every single day. Literally every morning I get out of bed and the same voices talk. Well, we don't really have time. This is going to happen. I don't feel like doing this. There's a pain in my leg today, and everything comes up. And I'm choosing to pick the discomfort that serves me by continuing to return to the meditation practice. And every time it's amazing, by the way. I'm not saying every time it feels good. There are days where it feels brutal because those voices come up. And that's okay, though. By just being okay with it, that's all right. I'm proving to my mind, body, and nervous system that it's okay to be in that space and just move through it. If I listen to the voices, though, that are telling me, we don't have time, you're going to be in physical pain if you sit here and do this, you know, your mind's never going to quiet down, then I'm then empowering those voices and creating that experience in my life. It's like I'm basically, those voices want you to join them in the we're screwed mindset. Don't empower them. Empower yourself. Empower your being. Your whole being are not those little small pieces that believe you can't do things. You are so much larger than that. And what I'm finding is typically right before a breakthrough and right before the release, right before the dissolving of those voices, is when it's the most itchy, scratchy, and tension and uncomfortable coming up, because it's the breakdown before the breakthrough. And it's because you're holding on tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And let's see, I heard this analogy the other day, again from some of Kyle Cease's work. It's like if you're skydiving, the most terrifying part is not when you're actually falling. It's the moment getting up to jumping out of the plane. And as you're looking over the edge, you're hanging on, your body's tensing up, it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until you finally just release and jump. And that's what the other side of that discomfort feels like. It is the free fall of moving through and transcending that smaller voice. So I'm gonna choose to keep picking the discomfort that serves me, and we're gonna see what comes out of it. So, so glad you guys are still here. Let me know what your experience is. If any of you are actually doing this, putting it into practice, let me know about some of your discomfort that comes up and moving through that. I'm really curious. So, see you guys next time. Hey guys, so I finished up and went to take a shower and actually realized that there was something else I wanted to mention. And that's what happens when you choose the discomfort that doesn't serve you. What happens is when you continually choose discomfort that doesn't serve you, we actually subconsciously manifest ways to move through that and opportunities to move through or face that fear or just be with it. So they start coming up. And an example of that is like in my meditation today, when I was thinking about all this stuff, there's a little piece of me that just wanted to be out of the discomfort of those fears. And the ego will get sneaky. If it can't scare you out of doing something, it will bribe you into doing something else, if that makes sense. Like if it can't use the fear tactic, then it's going to use the cookie tactic. And so mine moved from the fear to the cookie tactic and was like, hey, you know, we could stop early and just start making this video now. We've had some insights. It's all good. Let's just get out of this. Like, let's go play somewhere else for a while. And had I done that, I didn't. I continued with it and finished the rest of the meditation and just let everything come up. But if I hadn't, the moment where my housemate came back to the house and we ran into each other wouldn't have happened. The way the time worked is I would have been mid-video and he would have actually walked in, and that would have been the fear. So just interesting thing that I noticed there is that happens all the time. When we choose to stay in our fears and not move through them, and we're choosing the things that don't serve us, we're also creating opportunities to step out of that and into a new reality. So if you guys are experiencing any of that too, also let me know. I'm so curious about the stories that are coming out of this, and I'll keep sharing mine. So see you next time.